In this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 books specifically for masculine men chasing more power and success, power over any situation you come through in life, and really understanding how to optimize your brain, really what steps you need to take to get to the next step of success in your life. That's what these books are going to be about. They're really going to help you become who you want to become and really step forward in your life. So if that's the direction you want to go, if you want books that are going to actively help you improve as you read them, stuff you can implement in your life and really just change you in general, that is what these books are going to be about. So without wasting time, let's get straight into the first book. The first book I have for you is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I recommend getting the Gregory Hayes translation. This one is the most clear, easiest to read, and makes the most sense. Now, it starts off by going through some history of Marcus Aurelius. If you didn't know, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor just under 2,000 years ago. So after explaining the situation that Marcus Aurelius is in, what the actual book is Marcus Aurelius's journals. Now, these journals weren't supposed to get out to the public, so it's his authentic self speaking, and it's pretty crazy that we could read the journals, his true thoughts that he never thought would get out to people, and you could read those and think, wow, I relate to that. I need to implement his reaction to that and how he goes about it. He has a lot of interesting thoughts on different things. Now, one thing I found super interesting is his idea of logos. Now, logos is the idea that the world is always trending towards good. Everything is an action or a step towards good, whether it's negative or positive. Negative outcomes you learn from. You could take anything from a negative outcome. They're never truly negative, and the world in general trends in a positive direction. It's the idea that we may have bounces along the way, but in general, the world is trending in this direction. And if you take the balances in your life and really learn to flow towards a better direction through using those bounces, then you really could become much more successful and achieve much greater things than the self or the version of yourself who doesn't know how to properly account for those bounces. Marcus Aurelius was also taught and mentored by many Stoic individuals. So by reading this book, you could really take away his Stoic ideas, the stuff you're not told anymore, because there's very few Stoic individuals or chivalrous individuals. So by taking this information you hear in this book, you could become a much more respected man and you could really stand out in today's society. So that is my first book, Meditations. I'm sure many of you have read it or heard of it, but I hope you give it a read now that you have heard what it is about. My next book that I have for you is the book Unscripted. Now, what Unscripted is about is it's the idea that everybody is trying to achieve success, but along the way, there are so many little holes that people get stuck in. It's not possible for everybody to be successful, or else that would just be average. By law, there has to be unsuccessful people for there to be successful people. So what this book goes through is it goes through every step in the way in an entrepreneurship journey or your way to success, however you want it to be. This book will step you through it and go through all the holes in society that most people fall through and the most common issues that people encounter. And it's going to show you how to A, avoid those, and B, it's going to show you how to step out of those and what is happening in your life. You could identify the current point you are within this book. This has a wide range from not very successful, zero success at all, to extremely successful. All of them can take away information from this book because it really steps through each point and what is the factor that gets people stuck in that exact point. No matter who you are, I guarantee you will find something in this book that plays mind games on you that you really haven't thought of, And now that you have thought of it because you've read this book, you are going to be going crazy. It's going to be stuck in your head now that the light has been revealed inside of your head on what exactly your issue is. You're going to fix that issue. You're going to step forward. Eventually, you're going to encounter another issue. And then this book is really just my guideline. Whenever I run into a sticking point in life, I come to this book. I say, hey, I scroll through it. I go, where exactly am I? And then I go from there, a step from there. And it has personally worked for me every single time. I recommend it. The next book I have for you is Deep Work by Cal Newport. Now, what Deep Work is it's a book that helps you get into a state of focus. It really teaches you how exactly you could get into a state of deep work, because with all the distractions now, it's really hard to get your brain 100% focused on one task without being concerned with something else. Checking your phone, do I have to go to work soon? Stuff like that. Random things that pop in your head really slow down your productivity. You cannot be doing multiple things at once. If you're focused on one thing specifically, your brain actually optimizes the neural pathways for that specific task. So when you stop doing things, when you get interrupted by small, tiny things, your brain can't properly optimize for that task. You're not going to be doing that task as effectively as you want to be doing it. I mean, you've probably noticed it. You've probably noticed there's days where you do the exact same amount of work in 50% of the time. It just depends on your life, and you can't really tell what exactly the difference between that day is and the day that you're moving really slow through that task. And the difference really is, in almost all cases, your ability to focus on that individual task and get into this deep work state. So by reading this book and getting the guidelines to focus and get into a deep work state, you're going to be able to get much more done. You're going to be able to achieve much more in a much less greater period of time. And you could think about it, if you are working, if you have other things in your life, if you want to go to the gym and then you want to add some sort of side hustle on top of it, whatever you want to do and be productive with outside of those tasks, you really don't have a whole lot of time to do it. And you know that. You know that you struggle with time throughout the day. So why not optimize the small amount of period you have to get things done? Literally get a week's worth of work done in the morning just by reading a book and learning how to properly get your brain into that state. That is why I love this book, Deep Work by Cal Newport. You may notice that some tasks just come extremely easy to you. Something that comes easy to me is going to the gym consistently, and I know there's many other people, and a lot of us don't understand the struggle of really being able to go to the gym, not being able to do something physical throughout your day. A lot of us just have it as part of our routine. And the reason because of that is, once you get to a certain point, once you work until once you work until you see the success and see the benefits of that work, it is really easy to continue working in that category. So in this case, it's the gym for many of us. I'm just using that as the example. The reason the gym is the case for most of us is newbie gains. Normally, immediately within, say, a month, you already notice progress within the gym. It's easy. You know you're making progress. You know if you keep going, you're going to continue making progress. There's not many variables inside of the gym that impact whether you do or do not make progress. The idea is, if you're going, you're going to make some sort of progress. Now, what if we could implement that idea, get our brain like that in the rest of our life? That's what the next book is about. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, whatever journey you're taking, there's always going to be something that you struggle with. It always feels as if there's a resistance against you going towards that thing. And that resistance, in most cases, is your brain. You cannot comprehend the idea of actually succeeding in that. You don't know it'll happen because it's never happened to you or people you know. So you're kind of just guessing. You don't have as much faith. You have the desire, you want it, but you don't know what the chances of it are. You're just kind of going through the motions, hoping you're doing things right. Now, what Think and Grow Rich does is it takes tactics, physical tactics. I have a sheet of paper back there of the tactics I'm using, and I wrote them all down and I implemented them with the tasks I'm working on now. You write down the tasks and it explains step by step how to do this. So, and then you basically go through those tasks every single morning and brainwash yourself into thinking that you will succeed at this. You will get whatever at this. It'll no longer become a belief. You'll become genuinely confident that this is meant to happen and it's just a matter of time. This is what's going to happen. This is what I'm doing to achieve that. So yeah, I don't believe in most financial books. I believe most of them are a scam. I've read multiple that I dislike because there's many financial situations that are just different for everybody. And the reason I like this is because A, it could be applied outside of finances. It could be applied at any area of your life. And B, your brain is always something you want in a better state. No matter where it is, you could always put it in a better state. And that is what this is going to do. This is how you are going to unlock the power of your thought to really be more positive inside of your brain. So I recommend giving it a read. That's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm going to give you one bonus book right here. I don't have a physical copy of it, but the book is called Estrogenerations. What Estrogenerations is it's about all the estrogenics and all the things killing our testosterone in the modern day. So if you are interested in learning more in depth about what kills our testosterone, now I've gone through all the important information you need to know on my channel. But if you really just want to have a better understanding of why exactly you're doing these things that I've told you to implement, then Estrogenerations is a book that I recommend reading. Now on to my fifth and final book, The Idea to Control and Have a Tactic to Implement in Every Single Situation. This video wouldn't be complete without bringing up the 48 Laws of Power. This book is a very potent book on your mindset and the way you go about life. This book is even banned in prison systems inside of the US because of how effective it is and how much knowledge is within it. So when you are reading this, it has too much information to be able to comprehend and remember all 48 laws. What I recommend doing is choosing individual laws out of the book to focus on. Read everything because you'll be able to recognize it when people use them on you. Now, people may not know they're using it on you, but the point is you won't be manipulated if you are aware of every single law. But I recommend choosing about 3 to 5 laws inside of the book that you are really going to focus on and implement for the next year and really program inside of your brain those laws, because that is how you are going to become efficient and effective at implementing them and actually using them effectively and identifying which cases they're actually applicable in, because not all laws are applicable in every case. How the book is set up is it goes through historical events as examples, things throughout history that have occurred, that have had major outcomes, that have changed because of the implementation of these tactics. So really choose a law that you comprehend well, ones that fit you specifically, because some people think that every law applies to them. No matter what the law is, it's going to fit me. And that's simply not true. You cannot be implementing every single thing because you need to be the person who identifies with those laws. If you are not, then you're going to be putting up a fake screen that people could see through. You're not going to be effective with them. So choose 3 to 5 laws, and that is my final recommendation, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Now, I want everybody to help each other out. Leave a book in the comment section that I did not recommend, that you strongly recommend or feel strongly about for us to read, and leave a brief description with it on why exactly this book is special and who it is for. And we're all going to work together to improve and have more knowledge that we can consume. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to become more knowledgeable.